Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the 155 Mogami, an absolute classic that has been reborn now that it has a heel. This ship has a lot of downsides. You're going to hear about the firing angles, the armor, lack thereof, the turret. There's a lot that is problematic when playing Mogami with these 155mm main guns. However, there's a lot of people that absolutely love this ship from back in the day, purely off of its damage output, and that it was very unique back then. When the ship was released back in 2015, when there was only American and Japanese lines in the game, this was the only high-tier ship with 155mm guns on cruisers. You would get 203s at tier 7 with Pensacola and Myoko. So it's very unique to run Mogami with what seemed like lower tier guns back then, but they were very powerful. These have the second highest HE DPM at tier 8. Yes, that was an 8,000 damage salvo into Turpit's superstructure. This ship is rather terrifying as far as its gun power is concerned. Another 5k to Ochakov with, by the way, a 10-second reload. We now have the Japanese light cruiser line in the game, and the tier 8 Shimanto has, well, some issues, right? Turret traverse is much better. Firing angles are way better. Mogami's, by the way, the reason we're sailing so broadside here is that we have to give 45 degrees of broadside when pushing in and 50 degrees of broadside when kiting like this. That is worse than GK angles in a light cruiser. This ship needed a heel, and it is so much better to play now that it has one. You still absolutely will get dev struck with this thing if you're caught broadside, if you're caught too greedily trying to farm with these guns in open water. But man, it's so fun to play this light cruiser variant of a Japanese cruiser that actually has good guns, okay? Shimanto HE DPM is at 141,000. That's basically the same as Mogami with its 203s, but you only get 150s, right? 203s pen more, higher fire chance, all of that. Better shell velocity too. Shimanto struggles. The Yodo line kind of struggles here. Everybody was hoping for a line of 155 Mogamis. Well, and we didn't quite get that. It's wonderful, though, now to play a version of Mogami with these 155s with that heel. We get 2 base, of course, like basically all the mid-tier cruisers get now. You can get up to 3 with Superintendent. And if you get a First Blood, you actually get 4 heal Mogami, which comes in handy, as the ship will take a lot of damage. Mogami's HE DPM with the 155mm main guns is 234,000. That is just behind Cleveland. That is basically the best you can get at this tier, and is still very good even into up tiers. The damage here is absolutely insane. It's just trying to keep the ship alive. Notice we have pretty good rudder shift here. That is not base. 7.1 second rudder is solid, but running rudder mod I found to be quite comfortable. These AP shells, by the way, not too bad either. We've got ourselves into a very tricky situation in this one. First game, I wanted to show you guys just the power of this ship. Insane start there, nearly getting up to 100k there in the first 5 minutes of a battle. Ridiculous damage output. What happens though if you get bad matchmaker? I think this qualifies. We got ourselves into tier 10. There's a tier 10 carrier. There is a Libertad. There is a Valparaiso. This is a difficult situation to deal with. Our destroyer has gone down here. I've decided to play up close on an island, as island cover really helps to keep our Mogami alive. But we're still taking some chip damage over it. But thanks to the heal, I'm not as concerned about it. That was the whole issue with basically all of these cruisers at this tier, but especially Mogami. You had the damage output, but man, it was so hard to keep this ship alive. And well, you still will take a lot of damage. You at least have heals to come back from that damage you will be taking. So a lot more comfortable to play. I really did have a pretty good time with this one. Totally forgot. It wasn't really on my radar because it's not a ship I really played that much back in the day. I must confess, I was a bit of an Atago enjoyer over the Mogami. I valued the heal in particular on Atago, but also the deck armor not being purely overmatched by all the battleships allowed you to angle at range, which I found quite nice. And of course, the firing angles. There's still some of those problems still exist with this Mogami, but that heal being addressed has made Mogami much, much more fun to play, which is exactly what I was hoping for out of these mid-tier heals. it is still very, very tricky to play into these higher tier games where it's a little bit more open water maps. They have changed Okinawa, thankfully, but it is still very hard to play the south side as a cruiser, especially into up tiers like this. So trying to walk our way around the island here a little bit, perhaps a little too greedily, just sitting broadside like this, but we need to play a little bit safe early game, especially into these higher tier matches. You will just explode, and cruisers have immense battle impact as we progress towards the late game. And I think this match is actually a perfect example of this. We're in a down tier, like we're bottom tier here. This is not a situation where you're expecting a Mogami to do a lot of carrying, but I'll spoil a little bit. We are going to get nearly 3k base XP out of this battle yet. But it's partially down to I'm trying to save my HP here early. It's a close battle as well. We don't always get those. In fact, it's not terribly common to get a close battle, but I love it when it happens. And it's exactly for those reasons that the heal comes in massively clutch, as is just a little bit of self-preservation early on, not giving up just because the matchmaker is not so good, which I'll admit from time to time in my head, it's like, it's hard to stay engaged into all of them. Here's a little too greedily getting punished. Fortunate to not actually eat a more than one citadel there. We're going to go try and get this cap. Mogami actually does have pretty good detect. 10.5 is still with rudder mod, by the way. So this 4-second rudder shift we have right now isn't actually that bad to use without full concealment build. Mogami is just quite stealthy, and it needs to be to deal with the armor issues. But also, the playstyle here, oftentimes, you want to push up with Mogami undetected, turn away, use your torpedoes, which are pretty strong, 10-kilometer torpedoes. You've seen these Japanese torps before. And then kite away from the enemy is the idea of an open water playstyle. It's still very hard to use in that regard because of these firing angles, but we will try to make use of that. In this case, I'm trying to cut off angles here, so trying to finish off Prince Eugen as he's low, trying to cut off Monty from being able to hit me, and also get this cap, well, hopefully avoiding Valparaiso salvos. We're getting very fortunate, his shell's going low at this point, but a little bit of dodging here and there, slowed down for that one. And really making use of IFHE in this one. I'll talk more about this as we play some live games in that, but it's a really tough decision whether you should use IFHE on some ships, and Mogami is one of them. You have 31 millimeters of pen base, and you get up to 38 with IFHE. I did some with and some without, and it felt like IFHE was kind of worth it. I don't know if that's just my brain not enjoying the RNG with fires, but it felt like I wasn't actually getting that much fires when I was not taking IFHE. So suddenly the alpha damage where, yeah, we're full penning Montana belt and deck armor, at least upper belt and deck armor with IFHE, is pretty important. Valparaiso gets a nice salvo on us at the end there, but that's okay. We have a heal to come back from it. Trying to help finish off this Montana. We got the cap. Trying to turn away and avoid the damage. We successfully avoid the first one, but now we're slow. We've already committed to our dodge. Montana was smart to wait for his front two turrets, and we barely avoid most of it. We still take another 10k. It's time to go dark here. Fortunately, my team got that Monty, and it's just the Freddy left. We haven't done a whole lot. Notice 67,000 damage, but what we have been doing is collecting the cap, helping our team by spotting a little bit on that flank, as well as just applying general pressure to that cap and island in the south. Nobody really wants to walk around, push around on a Mogami sitting on a corner just because the torps are so good. And now here in late game, we still have 20k HP with all of our heals used, which means that, yeah, we'd be dead. We would not be alive right now if we didn't have any heals. We would be sunk by that Montana or certainly that Valparaiso. We would not be able to do a little farming here on the Freddy, but more importantly, look at what's still alive here. Our Kaba is doing his absolute best to deal with a submarine, a carrier, and a Grozavoy, trying to take him down. And we're all kind of on the other side of the island, not helping him very much. We need to get over there quickly. Mogami's pretty fast. We do have some sub-surveillance. And this is the key with cruisers, is you just have a lot of damage output to help deal with these destroyer fights. You have also good speed to get around the map to maybe go cap things. Like I'm going to try and get to the A cap here while helping on this Grozavoy as well as this submarine. Battleships aren't quick enough. Destroyers don't necessarily have the damage output to really burst down some of these ships, like a healthy destroyer, a low health battleship, a medium health cruiser. a lot of these fights, we just want to take at close range in the late game because we don't have to worry about crossfires. We can play so aggressive through the middle of the map here because there's no battleships in their spawn. There's just a Hakuryu up there. Their Freddy is far away, angled, dealing with the Musashi right now. So we can afford to just full send through the gap here and help take out the submarine and help take out this destroyer to help end the game here for our team as a bottom tier cruiser. We wouldn't be able to do this without saving HP for the late game. I didn't do the best job of it, just sitting broadside on and eating some citadels earlier, but we still managed to live till the end and have this impact later on. Cruisers are very powerful. They just need to stay alive. That is the hard part, of course, when playing a cruiser. How do you keep it alive against all the overmatch, the spotting early from carriers, that kind of thing? It's very difficult. Open water maps, that I'm not saying it's easy, but man, you can have great games out of even bottom tier cruisers now that we have heals at these tiers. It's so much better than it used to be. And while you still don't want the permanent up tiers all the time, they're at least more playable. They're less frustrating, and there is still more that you can do. And I really like that. More options, more decisions for you to make, less games where you feel completely locked out and, I guess there's nothing I can do in this battle. That's what we want to avoid here. And this change to mid-tier cruiser heals, I'm absolutely loving it. Welcome back, 155 Mogami. So when I'm trying to play a Mogami in these games these days, I want to go for islands. I really just want to go for islands. The firing angles are terrible. The armor, not amazing as well. So the overmatch we got to watch out for. A couple of tier 9s in this one. Not so bad though, honestly. But we're going to push up to an island here. This is a pretty common one. It can feel a little risky. I'm curious how this is going to feel with these firing angles in particular. We can at least fire 3 of our turrets off the bow at reasonably good angles here. So we're going to mostly use that to start with here. Okay, Mines and Bismarck. Notably, I am running a full conceal build now without IFHE in this one. So we'll see how that works, but we'll try and pinch ourselves between these islands here just to make sure we're not going to get spotted. Into battleships, IFHE is useful, assuming it's a battleship you pen their deck armor, their bow, their stern section. 32, and then 38 on American battleships. On a Bismarck, though, it's really not helping us much. We're still just aiming superstructure. So in these cases, it's really nice to just get the extra fire chance. Sharnor, similar idea. The fire chance here is usually pretty good. Do have a 12% fire chance. Goes down to like 7, I believe. Maybe 8 with the IFHE build. So quite a bit less. Yet we are not going to get the fire on the Bismarck to start with. So maybe reason to just go IFHE, guys. Take the extra damage. All right, that's much more consistent. All right, we're going to get spotted by the mines if we shoot. I mean, look at this detect, guys. 9.5 is crazy good detect. Mines, by the way, has very good DPM, but our HE DPM is better. Kind of interesting. Oh, there we go. 6 can of fire. Notably, we do not need IFHE for situations where we're dealing with our cruisers at our tier. Oh, I missed. As long as he doesn't have AP, then I think we're chilling. Oh yeah, he didn't load AP. Nice. He doesn't have it slotted on his ship. I believe we're short enough. Yes, dude. Sometimes ships aren't actually covered by this part of the island, but Mogami is actually low enough that it does get covered, which is amazing. So we can just shoot our front guns here and be chilling. He's gonna blind fire us, poor guy. It's a tough spot to be, and I will let this first fire burn because we have heals. We have heals. I do see the enemy battleship pushing up. Oh, 6k from front guns only. Insane. Yeah, we have heals, guys. We have heals. All right. How hard are they pushing? Pretty hard. Okay. We're gonna get ready for torps on this side. Is the idea. Under pressure, but Mogami can deal. The other thing is, if they push through this gap, then I will turn out beforehand. I'm going to use my knowledge of with our hydro to turn out beforehand, and that way I'll get my torps on. Oh, spotted. Mahan. Okay, Mahan, whatever. Worried a little bit about that. Oh my goodness. Hello, Fletcher. Oh, can I get up? Please let me get over this. No. Pain, 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 pain. That would have been so much damage. It would have been insane. All right. We're under some pressure here. Our guys on the 1, 2, 3 line will be helping us, surely. Right? I hope so. Anyways, we're still got angles for the torps. Notably, they don't go all the way back, so we do have to give some broadside if we want the torpedoes. But we're holding these guys up. This is what I was doing in that tier 10 game, previous one, by the way. People just do not want to push around the corner on a Mogami. One that's prepped with torps. That is no bueno. So, I mean, maybe it is bueno. Wait, he's not even looking at me. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I actually expected him to slow down and turn in, so I actually missed most of those. That's hilarious. That's gonna hit the island. So broadside that he could. Yep, citadels. I can't get over that. Too bad. All right, Mr. Man, it's time. Sir, the time has come. I must fire my guns your way. Or you're behind an island that I can't actually shoot over. Am I going to get rushed by a Fletcher here? It's possible. I don't want to push out because of the Sharn. Smahan is playing a tricky game. I'm a little worried about Sharn 43 as well. All right, can I get over this now? No. Notably, Mogami torps or guns don't have the best shell velocity at range, but at close range, they have decent starting velocity. 14 seconds and we'll get our torps back. Maybe if Sharn shoots, I'll cross. Bismarck on this angle is a little bit of a problem here, potentially. Oh, he's a minute and a half he was last spotted there, actually. All right, I think I can afford to try. Not getting that shot. Yeah, Sharn goes down. And actually, Fletcher Smoke helps us out a lot here. And now, Mr. Man, the pesky destroyer, who's been playing well, to be honest with you. It's time. It is time. It is what it is, sir. It is what it is. 155 Mogami. It's back. And it's quite scary for DDs to be eating this kind of alpha damage. Japanese HE shells have very high alpha damage, and this many of them, 15? It's a scary ship to deal with, man. Okay, so we've played the island, and it's not always going to be that... people aren't always going to push it. In fact, most of the time they won't. But we can farm over it, you know. Good options to start a game without losing all our HP. I should be hydroing, by the way. He could have had torps for us. Want to help our Catalunya, although he's probably dead. Bismarck in spawn we'll have to watch out for. Let's just send out some torps here to start. And that way we've already got them in the water, and then we can angle in if the game calls for it, which probably it will. Although the mines is not looking at us. We'll just aim center mass here. Oh, Fletcher got spotted. 5k alpha, very nice. I thought he was going to go forward. It looks like he's going to be actually reversing. Got him with one. We're fast, so I'm going to push up to him because he's kind of caught in front of this island now. Bismarck shot us. Sure. Yeah, see, he's kind of caught in front of this island. Yep, front guns only. Kearsarge isn't looking. Excellent. We have our Hydra up, so I'm not too concerned about the next wave of torpedoes because we'll see them coming. Good. Excellent stuff. Can we get a cheeky fire here before looking for Mr. Bismarck? Okay. Not eating too much there. Excellent. This is a situation where we could go dark and turn away, but we have a heal. We have a thing called a heal. And we're going to try and keep Kearsarge between this island. And this island between us and Kearsarge. It's a little harder to do these dodges when you are not running rudder mod. But here we'll just slow down and turn in. Not get greedy for the rear guns while he has his shot up. But he's reloading now, so we can greed for him. Still waiting for them to come around the corner, though. Or rather, turn. Turret traverse. He'll be loaded here soon. We're getting like 2 and a bit shots between his salvos. So that's why we're kind of pre-turning in like this. Good dispersion, but fortunately we're okay. I think our deck armor is 27, so we will actually be interested in... We could bounce. Oh, and the kid with the clutch smoke. Excellent. Kearsarge is not going to continue to push towards the B cap. You can always use torpedoes to estimate speeds and what players are doing. Like, are they accelerating or are they slowing down? That kind of thing. That's a damage control, so let's try and get the relight. I'm always just going to recheck. Looks like he's starting to accelerate. So we got to be careful. We won't hit him through that gap, so it'll be the next one. Excellent. We get the relight. Okay, things are going well here. Not always do games look like this, certainly in Mogami. I've had plenty of games where I just explode. Or games that don't, you know, have a lot of action to them. This one, pretty close, although our team looks to be doing pretty well at the end here. We'll dump the torps, and then we'll go forward. Is this a Chase Bismarck angle? It might be, or do we go get the D cap? I'm not sure. Okay, the torps would have got him. Our team got him beforehand. That's good. I think this is a situation where we have a good destroyer player who's going to go for the cap and for the mini Gumo. We can go chase damage a little bit here. Otherwise, if this was a closer game where I was one of the only ships remaining, maybe some battleships left, I probably would go for the caps. But that's why I'm just going to go for a little more damage in this case. Yeah, these firing angles, though. The firing angles, the turret traverse, the long... Oh, I didn't even lead enough. Wow. Speaking of shell velocity, that's funny. Will I get another shot before he fires? No. I've done the same dodge over and over again. Looks like he's catching on. Unfortunately for him, Bismarck dispersion is quite unfortunate. Oh, okay. We'll zoom out a tick. Let's actually try and lead this. My goodness. This is embarrassing how much I'm missing. And now I overlead a bit. Okay, well it gets the front fire. Let's do the stay at full speed and turn in. I get the bow and the stern. My aim is so bad. No. We can't be aiming so poorly that we're missing the superstructure entirely. We're getting the bow and the stern superstructure. That is embarrassing. Please. I mean, if it was intentional, then sure. Oh no, the poor man is swapped to the HE. That's tough. That's when you know the battleship is given up. Poor guy. Although maybe that's to lull me into just staying broadside for his next salvo. That would be next level. There we go. There's the superstructure. That would be next level if he did a AP salvo now. I'm not gonna dodge. No. Okay. He's giving up on the HE. Okay, or on the AP. 163. All right. Good match. Good damage. Decent impact. I could have done a better job of going after the destroyers, certainly. But overall, good stuff out of Mogami. More damage, but not the E. See, less battle impact. We were just farming battleships a little bit more into this one. But still, very fun to see 155 Mogami back. All right, funny joke. Whoever's in charge of map rotation. We're not getting variety, apparently. But we do have a different side of the map. So I can play it a little differently. Instead of going just to sit on the island, which is a good play. Notably, you can arc over this part. You can arc over this part pretty easily. We'll try the holding it down an open water flank a little bit more. We want to push up closer with our DD, of course, trying to help our destroyer out. Notably, even though it'd be fun for me to just to show this kind of more, without the DD there. If our DD went to D, I would still stay by and support him. Probably just sit behind this island. You know, I'm not going to force that. We need to help our destroyer players out. In this case, though, we could just sit here and help them. But there's a carrier, which is quite bad for us. Those are some AP rocket planes, so hopefully... Yeah, good. Enemy Hood is spotted, not going to this flank. Bismarck is, though. Unfortunately for us, this is, like, really frustrating. This is really annoying to deal with. The spotting is a problem, as is the damage and the angles. All right, let's get started on the Bismarck 41 here. Want to stay outside of his secondary range. And the destroyer has been lit. So let's try and get that shot in. That's what we're here for. We're here to help, Mr. Gnevny. Akatsuki slows down, but we get a pretty nice hit in. And he smokes. That is totally fine. Enemy Congress here. Improved AP pen angles on that one. A little scary, but our concealment. I'm running full conceal build here, this time with IFHE. And so we can afford to kind of look at pushing back in on this. Running full lighthouse is fun for the damage, of course, but staying undetected. There's some real value to that in these more open games. Bismarck 41 has run away. Okay. Maybe we have control of this flank and I should head back towards the decap to help. But I see our DD is pushing in again, so I want to help him out. I don't think this smoke lasts long enough that we should be pushing up to use it. But we can sit kind of behind it maybe and hope that there's a DD engagement here. This is a good tactic to run. If you don't have a utility cruiser, like we don't have a radar, it's fine if our destroyer spots and we're close enough that we're here to help quite early on the fights. I'm going to try and shoot here. Hopefully undetected. Nice. Let's just torp. Maybe the DD is still in his smoke. May as well use it on cooldown. Not going to get much other value out of it. I'm okay with sitting broadside here behind a smoke. That would be a very common torp angle for the DD because I have a Hydro. Hey, look at that. We're still getting fires even though it's IFHE. Cool. So, Bismarck forced away. Gnevny is scouting the flank for us. 2 fires. Oh my. Just run IFHE, guys. RNG is RNG, okay? You're going to get fires or not. It's... it should be more fires when you don't have... oh, whatever. Whatever. Sometimes it's really valuable just to know where an enemy isn't. So we know the enemy destroyer just isn't up here right now because our destroyer is scouting it. Knowing that, we can aggressively push for some islands here to get some crossfires, or we can head back and help our team in the middle of the map. Not knowing that, it'd be a lot more awkward to make a decision. In this case, we're just going to look to farm the Congress, the Bismarck, and the Hood through this gap. If we get pushed, of course, well, guess who has some torpedoes, right? That's the really nice part about running a DPM cruiser on an island. When you have torps, you have a deterrent to prevent people from YOLOing around to take you out. That's one of the weaknesses of playing some of these high DPM cruisers like Cleveland we looked at recently that don't have that deterrent. If you're playing a... he's kind of turning his guns, but I don't think Hood will get a shot here. Those Turch versus pretty good. I don't think he gets that shot, though. Yeah, we're good. It's quite risky to push up to islands when you don't have that deterrent. Cleveland has just DPM, but not the AP deterrent like a Baltimore would have. Torps are the best, though. Torps are definitely the best. There's no arguing with a face full of torps at 1 kilometer pushing around a corner, okay? That's just too good. All right, good damage so far, actually. Very good damage. Now, Bismarck. I mean, this is a pretty nice spot to get into, assuming we have spotting, which our Gnevny is giving us, our Odin is giving us. So just putting the DPM in. Looks like this Bismarck 41 does not have a fire prevention. The fire is only here. There's another spot back there that we can go for. So let's aim for that. He's going to reverse. We will as well. I think those are his secondaries. I don't think there's another ship there. Yeah, those are secondaries. Ah, we don't have angles. I mean, not that we would have much room to actually launch torps there. Hey, we got the other fire. See? There were 2. Although we damage controls now. But that's fine. Our Odin is doing an excellent job of tanking. Look at the stuff here and here. Like, what a Chad, man. That's amazing. He's what's, like, enabling us to actually just sit here and farm so much damage. I'll take it. I'll take it. Team play, guys. Even battleships have some team play. I do see the Congress coming around the corner. We will need to help on that. All right. Odin does go down, though. Heinrich might come around the corner to give us the spots. Nevny does. AP dive bombers, and I'm quite slow. It's quite bad. And we're very broadside onto this Bismarck. Yep. Yep. That's what happens when you get caught. Expected. Unfortunate, but expected. But we have heals, guys. We have the heal. Isn't it wonderful? Heals are just so nice. Oh, the DD is there. Okay. Risky. Oh, he gets it. I was hoping he wouldn't get it, but he does get it. All right, we have to stay angled now. We should get him with those torps. Like I said, the torp deterrent is immense. So, good stuff. We do live this. That does mean I'm not going to charge this gap, though. That's for sure. We need to play a little bit safer than that. Because then, if these guys push here and these guys push here, I'm caught in a crossfire. That's why. We're going to go around, play a little safer. Unfortunately, the destroyer went back. Okay. I wondered if the DD was going to push to try and get like our battleship or something like that. That's also why I wasn't using Hydra. I wanted to surprise him. But the damage we got into him early has led to potentially the Nevny winning that fight, hopefully. Any damage on that DD helps, man. They don't have heals, notably, most of them. So all that damage you get, even 1,000 damage, a hit here or there, it's a big deal as the game goes on. Even if your DD loses the trade to start with, any damage you get is well worth it. Excellent work. Looks like our Nevny dodged the torps. It's always nice to have a good DD player on your team, isn't it? Isn't it great? Makes life so much easier, man. And actually battleship players too. That Odin was playing well. Oh, and the carrier too. A little damage there. Not quite enough to finish him off. I don't think I quite have the range here actually either. A little more. Come on. Come on. Don't let him get the heal. I don't deserve this kill, by the way. I did 0 damage to him effectively. Now we can go after the carrier. I'm going to angle in so that these guys don't shoot me and I'm broadside on. This could be a AP angle. Not sure. I'm going to also stay bow on to like maybe go help the Renown once we deal with the carrier. Yeah, maybe I'll go AP actually. This is going to hurt. So we'll use our plane. Planes aren't very good, like fighter planes, but we just have to turn in and make sure we're always angled to this guy. Unfortunately for us, he actually is so fast that he gets around to our broadside. It's pretty funny. There we go. Oh, he has secondaries, that's right. AP? 6k. That's a good salvo. That's a good enough salvo. Alright, I wasn't able to do my play where I would go bow on more to the island and then go help on the north, but that's okay. The AP alpha damage is pretty close, actually, to the HE alpha damage, which is why we're not seeing a huge difference here. Notice it's 2600 HE and 3300 AP. So, not the best ship to swap to AP all the time. It still can be worth it, but the HE just does so much damage, and you get the fires, too. Especially with IFHE, quite consistent in getting pens. Oh, he does get spotted. Nice. Yeah, and into cruisers too, especially. Like, this HE just hits so hard, man. It's crazy. We are going to win probably before we can take him out. Maybe not. Depends how good my aim is. Yeah, I think we actually get him here. Okay, nice little 3 kill. 130 in this one, not bad. I mean, Mogami damage potential is pretty high. You can get much higher games, but it's fun to play it more towards helping your destroyers, that kind of thing, behind islands. Open water is very hard, and Lighthouse is very hard in this ship because of that armor, which we do need to take a look at. But good game. Good ship, man. The problem with Mogami really was that your armor let everything through pretty much. There is a little bit of 30 here, actually. That's kind of interesting. It's quite tall. Like, there's a lot of side belt here. Upper belt, that kind of thing to hit. Not a big superstructure, but I mean, if you overmatch through 27, there's a lot to hit here. And then, of course, you have a rather large citadel. So it's like a stepped one as well. So even if you're angling and they overmatch through this part here, right, 27. If they overmatch through that, then it's just a box to hit. It's much like a Minotaur is what it feels like. So not having a heal, quite painful. Now that it has a heal, it still hurts, especially with those firing angles. I mean, 50-degree kiting is crazy with a citadel like that. But it has the heal, so a lot more playable. Here's what I was running at the end. I was kind of switching off between IFHE and top grade gunner. I did run some with lighthouse, heavy HE and sap, that kind of thing. I didn't like the full lighthouse, so I did a little bit of an in-between lighthouse build, like with a 13-kilometer detect. That was okay. It's really good to have the concealment though still. Yes, we get heals, but you still don't want to be spotted all the time. So running steering gears though is quite nice to get that rudder from 7.1, which is fine, it's usable, but getting it down to 4.3 is really fun, especially because you're so broadside all the time when firing, so getting angled quickly is pretty important. And getting us down to a 10.5-kilometer detect from 9.5, it is worse, but I think it's manageable. So that's kind of what I like to run. So that's going to do it for 155 Mogami, now with a heal. Love to see it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.